Welcome back to the channel, gang. My name is Kevin Strange, 20-year veteran of underground entertainment. I am a novelist, cartoonist, and independent filmmaker, and I'm here today to share my love of comic books with you. Today, we're checking out Josh Howard's T-Bird and Throttle series. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, most viewers who watch these videos are not subscribed. We are marching towards that big 1,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. Join us on the Odyssey towards 1,000 subscribers, gang. I have a Patreon where you can, for a mere $3 a month, you get access to the digital versions of all of my comic books, all of my novels, and all of my movies. Specifically, when we hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel, I'm going to make my graphic novel, Kevin Strange's Space Worms, free on the Patreon for digital download in PDF format. This is a 164-page horror, comedy, violent, bloody, outlaw, underground comic. It's the story of two high school dorks trying to get laid at a house party. Unfortunately for them, these alien brainworms come crash landing into Earth and happen to land right in the backyard of the party and start taking over people's brains, eating them left and right. Preston and Ethan, our dorky stoner virgin duo, are trying desperately to keep the keep the party action going while the party guests fall left and right. And we are definitely looking at something completely polar opposite Kevin Strange's Space Worms today. 1,000 subscribers. This goes up for free. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You get access to all of our videos long before the general public, weeks, sometimes months in advance, as we continue to bank these shows. We are a daily YouTube channel featuring my favorite comic books, and definitely one of my favorite comic books and one of my favorite comic book creators is my pal Josh Howard. And we are going to take a look today at T-Bird and Throttle #1. Now, I first encountered Mr. Josh Howard. I can't remember, honestly. It had to have been through, around 2017, I started to watch Doug TeNaples' live streams as he worked on Bigfoot Bill and then Earthworm Jim. And there were a lot of personalities that came through the channel and through his sort of Twitter sphere around that time that contained the same sort of Christian conservative sensibilities as Doug did. And I was particularly curious about that type of comics creator, because I've always been told my whole life that Christians suck at making Christians and conservatives suck at making art. And I've had my own dealings with the psychotic left when it comes to art and artists and writers and filmmakers, and they all sort of sneer and jeer and tell you that art is a leftist pastime. Conservatives don't make art, and I was and that's mostly true when it comes to especially like small press writing. There's a small group of like military sci-fi Christian conservative writers, and they're their own deal. But I found these few guys that make comics, and I found them to be pretty nice guys, pretty cool dudes. And the more I watched their live streams and watched them draw and make these comics and do their crowdfunders, I really got on board with some of these guys. Jason Brubaker, Josh Howard, and Doug TeNaples specifically, and that's why I'm doing doing these. I'm sort of highlighting their work here on the channel because I think more people should be exposed to this type of storytelling. It's not preachy, and these guys aren't thumping Bibles in your face. It's just a different perspective than your Dan Slotts and your Eric Larsons and your Donny Cates, all of which I like. I like those guys and I like their comics, but they're absolute psychotic leftists on the internet who will block you and try to cancel you and try to destroy your life for having opinions and ideas different than theirs. And I find that to be extremely restricting, especially as an artist, as a comic book creator myself. I absolutely recoil from any kind of censorship, whether it be physical censorship or ideological censorship, and these guys, especially the three dudes I highlighted and mentioned, Josh, Doug, and Jason, they're just really cool dudes they're unimposing. They don't hit you in the face with their ideology through their books. They just tell stories from a particular perspective that I find refreshing, and they don't flip out and try to have your life ruined if you say something on Twitter that they disagree with slightly. So when I first read, like Josh hadn't even made T-Bird and Throttle yet when I first found his YouTube and his Twitter. I found when I went looking for his stuff, I got this big old tome, which we'll cover here on the channel for sure. The complete collection of Dead at 17, which was a series he's been making for most of his life. And I was delighted to find. How on this channel, gang, how much I love the singular creator and the creator that makes these phone book style comics that just go on and on and on and on, and it's one guy. He's the writer. I think he does everything, but I think on this project he does everything but the lettering. This is like a 7 or 8 book series, trade paperbacks, and the lettering in books 1 through 4 had other letterers, and then he took over lettering duties, and he's been doing letters ever since. And he does everything else. He does the inks, the pencils, and believe it or not, this stuff here, I was shocked to find that this stuff is not digital. He's actually inking this stuff traditionally, and his lines are so. This light is always in our way, isn't it, gang? I turn this light on. Like, if I turn it off, well, maybe we don't lose much. Maybe we just lose a little bit of glare. His inks are just. He has Josh has this style that reminds me of and this is his early stuff. He did this weird thing with people's cheekbones in the very beginning of these, especially male cheekbones all have this chiseled edge to it, and he has a Bruce Timm style to it, just a really aesthetically pleasing style. But we'll cover Dead at 17 at length later. But this is T-Bird and Throttle is his latest comic, and you can see that he still kind of has that knack for going a little heavy on the cheekbones, but he's definitely changed that. He doesn't do that as heavy as he once did. But I believe I picked these up. I didn't get I don't even remember getting these. Honestly, I don't remember getting these singles, the single issues of T-Bird and Throttle. I remember picking up the collection. And I think what I did was I ordered the first 2, and then I just said, "Screw it! I'm going to wait till the collection comes out." And then I got and so I have a lot of the singles and I have the collection. But I don't remember where I got this either. This came with either maybe when I got the number. I think this came when I got the collection. It's a signed sketchbook of all of the all his sketch work on the T-Bird character. You can see as he kind of went through trying to learn. I love his proportions. Chunky boots on there. These super wide shoulders. Super dynamic. And then his women are just, I mean, he draws women so well, so sexy. And that's kind of the thing with Josh Howard that you'll come to find is, and he says this himself, that he's like too Christian for normies, and he's too normie for Christians, because his stuff gets pretty provocative. He has some there's some real like cheesecake pinup stuff, some lewd even. I love these monsters. These are the Moon Men. This first series is T-Bird and Throttle versus the Moon Men, is the series name for the graphic novel. And you can see he just draws these cute girls in this, very in the same vein as like a Bruce Timm. And so T-Bird and Throttle is the story of this superhero who gets an alien engine implanted into his chest after he's oh geez, gang, 1 second. My alarm's going off. How embarrassing. I've got to go get an oil change in about 15 minutes, and I set my alarm so I wouldn't be late, and I decided to do a comic book review right before I have to go get an oil change. Anyway, as I was saying, gets a hole blasted through his chest on the moon. He's an astronaut, and there's the Moon Man shooting him. And he gets this alien engine embedded into his chest, and he becomes T-Bird. It gives him superpowers. Look at the chickadee there. Look at Throttle. What a babe. Josh can draw women. I'm telling you. Just a gorgeous art style. And so he has a kid. Loses it all in the depth of depression, and he just about decides to end it all. Flash forward to the present. Daughter's now a teenager. She's going off to school, and I guess a goodbye kiss is out of the question. Bye, Dad. You've got your phone, right? Call me when you get out. I'll be here waiting, just in case. But, just in case. Dad, I love you. I'll be fine. I love you too, kid. And we're here at Centennial City at Centennial Hall. I love his futuristic buildings. And then look at this pinup. Look at this monster. He can draw monsters. He can draw big buff superhero dudes. He can draw babes like nobody else. I mean, this guy's the real deal. But it turns out that this isn't what's happening. This is his backdrop. He is at a signing for his comic book, because in Josh Howard's T-Bird and Throttle world, comic books are like the tabloids. Like all the everything exciting in pop culture happens in comic books, and they're treated like pop culture celebrities. And so you've got Justice Superior over here with this big long line, and our boy T-Bird is just over here all by himself because he's been embroiled in these scandals, and he's no longer popular among the teenagers who collect comic books. And this babe shows up to get his autograph, but turns out she works for the space program, and they want T-Bird back. The last time he worked for them, he went to the moon. Hit by a meteor, crashed onto the moon. All the kids at school bully his daughter because her dad is embroiled in this comic book scandal. Here at the bottom panel, T-Bird exposed the true untold story. And he's accused of killing some folks. So he shows up to the headquarters. Here's their plan. Turns out the girl was a plant the whole time. Go back in time again. And him and his crew are here on the moon. Something's happening with this meteor crash, and they find this engine, and that's when T-Bird gets shot. These awesome moon men. Look at this shot. That's amazing. That's such a great. Josh is such a talented artist. Just truly awesome. One of my favorite modern comics men. All this is him. He does all the pencils, inks, colors, and letters on T-Bird and Throttle. He's a singular creator. You know how I love my singular creators. Look at the size of his arms and chest. This shot. Just awesome. I call him a murderer and a homewrecker. Sorry, he's a murderer. She's a homewrecker. They blame Throttle for the split up of T-Bird and his wife. It's all bad. Somebody attacks him in the alley. The engine in his chest reacts. Throttle's now a cop. Look how we did a show. I don't know, last week or maybe it was this week. Whenever I posted, but go back and watch the episode with where Wolverine cucks Spider-Man and how ugly that art is, and look how beautiful Josh Howard's art is. That is a gorgeous woman. Just a treat to look at, gang. And now this is inside the propaganda comic, the tabloid comic, and it tells the story. It tells the story of fascist T-Bird killing look how the moon men are much more humanoid, and he's just taking them out, and they kill him in self-defense, and the engine just smokes everybody. Look at him. Look at him. That's a la the comedian from Watchmen from Alan Moore's Watchmen, right? That's what that we're getting them vibes off of him there. And this is his estranged wife. This is all still in the propaganda comic, and then we have him. I love this shot. I love this shot of him. Right? If only he was the evil villain they thought he was, right? Gruesome is he's going to be the villain. He's going to be the overarching villain for this this particular series, and he's really cool. We get to him in later issues. Yep, that's book 1. They are coming. I got a backup cover there. On the flip side, beautiful stuff. Yeah, that's T-Bird and Throttle #1 from Josh Howard. I hope you guys like that. I think he's a hidden gem, and you guys should support his work. I'll put a link in the description to his website, and you can pick up your own T-Bird and Throttle books. He's working on a new T-Bird and Throttle as we speak. So remember to hit that subscribe button as we march towards 1,000 subscribers, gang. Where did I'm looking for my there it is, my Space Worms book. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm releasing Kevin Strange's Space Worms, my 164-page epic singular creator graphic novel, written, penciled, inked, lettered, and colored by yours truly for free on my Patreon. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, that'll be free for a month. And yeah, in the meantime, you can subscribe and get, I don't know, around 700 pages of comics from me, plus 18 novels and 7 feature-length films for $3 a month. It's a steal. A ton of content behind that paywall. Consider becoming a channel member for $2.99 a month. That will give you access to all of our videos here on the channel weeks, sometimes months in advance, as we continue to bank these shows moving forward. And all of that support will help me bring you more of my comics and more comic reviews of the comic books that I love. So until then, gang, I hope I see you at the dollar bin. And remember to keep on digging.